is Mason in there with Brandon? One of you better tell me what's going on.
It's none of your business, so stay out of it.
I'll tell you.
I told you, leave her out of this. This is between you and me and Brandon.
Mason is going to tell Brandon the truth. In a few minutes, my son is finally going to know who his real mother is.
Dream on, Santana. Mason is not going to make any trouble where Brandon is concerned. He's going to make sure that things stay just the way they've always been.
Wait a minute, Santana. I thought you agreed you never wanted Brandon to know the truth. You were resolved not to tell him because you thought it'd be for his own good.
I was, but Gina changed all that. She was the one who threw everything up for grabs.
What?
It was an accident.
Brandon overheard Gina say that she wasn't his real mother. When she realized what had happened, she tried to talk her way out of it, but Brandon sensed something. He refused to believe her.
He wouldn't believe you either. That's why he's talking to Mason.
You mean Brandon expects to get the true story from Mason, is that it?
He said he'd believe whatever Mason told him.
And Mason is not going to tell him that you're his mother. I know that.
Why don't you just face it? You destroyed Brandon's trust in you, and now you're going to lose him. Should have happened long ago.
You don't seem very worried, Gina. Why do you think that Mason will decide in your favor?
Because Mason knows I'll be a better mother to Brandon.
Oh, I see. It has nothing to do with those papers you've been trying to hide behind your back.
What are you accusing me of?
Oh, I just think you might be holding something over Mason's head, and I'd love to know what it is.
You have quite an imagination, don't you, Sophia?
I don't care what you think you've got over Mason, but it's not going to work.
Oh, really? Believe whatever you want to believe.
And even if it did work, what would be the point?
What do you mean?
You're only buying a little time, don't you see? The seed of doubt has already been planted in Brandon's mind, and from now on, he'll always wonder. And even if he doesn't find out the truth today, something inside him will always keep looking until he does find it.
That's not going to happen, and if it does, I will handle it.
Why don't you ask Sophia what it's like to have a grown child finally discover that his mother has been lying for years?
That's different. Sophia never really had a real relationship with her children. It was easy for them to turn against her.
You're very smug, Gina. I hope it doesn't come back to haunt you.
Oh, baby.
Santana.
Listen. Thanks.
I want you to calm down. I want to talk to you.
Well, that answers a few burning questions. Mrs. Capwell called you, I assume?
Yeah. I'm sorry it took me so long to get out here, but I'm finished now. So can you tell her I'll send her the bill?
Certainly.
Thanks.
Very clever, Gina. One place I never thought to look.
Away from me. Get him away from me.
No matter what you have to say to her right now, Mason, this is not the time.
Brandon trusted you. How could you do that to him? You're evil, Mason. You're an evil man, and one of these days, Brandon's going to hate you just as much as I do. All he wanted was the truth. He was ready. Brandon was ready to accept me. I could see it in him.
Darling, he is so young. It would have been a tremendous adjustment for him.
I would have helped him. We would have helped each other.
Listen to me, Santana. Even if Mason had told Brandon the truth, do you think Gina would have let him go just like that? No, she would have fought. She never would have allowed a settlement. That would have meant court cases, custody battles. And even if you won, at what cost to that little boy?
What is it costing now? A child shouldn't live a lie. He shouldn't live with a mother like Gina.
All right, you're going to have to face the truth whether you like it or not. Brandon loves Gina. She is the only mother that he has ever known. If you tried to take him away, it would be devastating for him.
It's not fair, Sophia. All I wanted to do was love him and take care of him. I don't want to hurt him.
I know.
You
I
don't know. You're right up there with the rest of them saying that Brandon is better off with Gina because he's used to her.
Santana, it's not that simple.
I don't want to hear it. What's the use?
Huh? You okay?
No.
Now, what's that about?
There's always something in this house. It doesn't even feel like home anymore. Excuse me, I'll get Sophia.
She's been, it's been pretty rough on her the last few months, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, she didn't need her mother's trial right now, that's for sure. What's your father's strategy going to be? Has he discussed the details with you?
Well, I think he's going to be counting pretty heavily on character witnesses. I don't think he is thrilled with what he has to work with.
Well, then what about a plea bargain? She could cop a deal, right? She could plead guilty to involuntary manslaughter and get off with a suspended sentence.
Well, you think she'd be up for that?
If she's smart.
I don't know. I mean, I could recommend that, Jack. I agree with you. It's probably the best way to go. Yes, Mrs. Armonti. Kurt Cranston. It's a pleasure.
Yes, Mr. Cranston.
I bring regards from Washington.
Yes, he just told me that your father has some news about my case.
Yes, he does. Could we sit down?
Certainly, come here.
We'll be here. Guess I should call Kelly and let her know that we have to stick by Mom during the duration of the trial.
So you're going to go along with me then?
When you're right, you're right.
All right, say that again, will you?
Don't be a glutton.
Come on, say it again. I'd like to hear that.
When you're right, you're right.
All right, sounds good.
Hello? Yes, this is Eden Capwell. Yes, I'll hold.
Who is it?
Police commissioner.
I know one person. He's not...
Yes, Mr. Commissioner. No, Jack Lee's in Washington. Do you need his D.C. phone number? No. Oh, okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
What are you doing?
Calling Kelly?
Just a second. Why does the commissioner need to get in touch with Jack Lee?
What do you think he's doing?
I have a theory, and I hope it's wrong. Just tell me you didn't have anything to do with this.
Look, I don't see the harm.
You called Jack and got him to intercede for me with the commissioner?
Don't you want your job back? Don't you care?
Eden, if I want my job back, I'll get it back myself. I don't need you making secret phone calls for me. Damn it, when are you gonna learn?